What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our Week 3 power rankings throughout the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, week 2, chalk it up. It's in the books. It is over. We had some incredible football all weekend long and a lot to get to, a lot of sorting out with these power rankings, 25 through 32. Why don't you get us started? Who do we have here? Who stands out in your mind?
Yeah, well, looking at the bottom 8 teams as we see it going through week 2, I want to take a look at number 32, the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Panthers got off to a bad start against the Cleveland Browns, and then they faced the New York Giants, who really have not been a good team the last few years, but they got Brian Daboll. They're looking a little bit better. And now we see the Carolina Panthers losing to a team who was just in the top 5 of the NFL draft. This is not a good sign for the Carolina Panthers. Matt Rule clearly does not know what he's doing with this team. Baker Mayfield does not have any control of this offense. We don't see DJ Moore or CMC really getting a heavy workload in this offense like they should, because they are workhorses, they are superstars, and they need to be treated as such. I just don't like the trajectory of this team. I don't believe in Matt Rule. I don't believe in anything, maybe besides this defense, but they're not going to win games by themselves, and I don't see anything in the future for the Panthers that looks bright. To me, they are the worst team, and that's why they're sitting here at 32. But a team that did look better in week 2, the New York Jets. The Jets got a great come from behind victory over the Cleveland Browns to edge them out in the last seconds of that game. Joe Flacco had some great throws to Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis, and I think that the New York Jets proved that they are getting better. The guys they got in the draft this past offseason were the real deal. Garrett Wilson getting 2 touchdowns, Breece Hall getting in the end zone himself, and Jermaine Johnson working on that edge as well. These 3 guys have really shown up so far, and they've really proven their worth. They're only 2 games deep into their NFL career, but I could see where they're headed, and this is without Zach Wilson. I think they've got a pretty bright future.
Can you say QB controversy? Well, I think the New York Jets are going to have one for sure, but taking a look at teams 17 through 24, we have some very interesting teams, a lot of teams moving up, some teams sliding very far back. A team that is on the rise, though, the Detroit Lions, sitting here at number 20. This is a team that I've been high on for months now. This is a team that I said was not only going to make the playoffs, but win a playoff game, and I truly believe it. Looking at this team, the way they buy into Dan Campbell's system, into his mantra, into his mentality, they are tough it out, nose to the grindstone type of football team. They are going to put up points and stop other teams from scoring on them. I know they haven't gotten the defensive prowess that they like on the back end, but when Amani Oruwariye comes back, they are going to be able to lock down this defense. It is going to be scary hours for anybody who has to go up against the Detroit Lions. And talking about a quarterback that was underrated, Jared Goff has looked phenomenal with this team. DeAndre Swift is that guy. He's got that dog in him, and he is absolutely lighting the league on fire. I love what the Lions have done. But with teams that are moving up the board, some teams have to fall back, and that brings us to number 17, the Las Vegas Raiders. Not exactly sure what the hell's going on in the desert, but the Las Vegas Raiders should never have lost that game to the Arizona Cardinals. If Josh McDaniels isn't fired midway through the season, I don't know what's going to happen with this team. The fact of the matter is, he is running an anemic offense. He is playing scared with the late leads. It is not working for this team. Derek Carr looks like he's regressed in the system. We are not seeing enough Darren Waller. We are not seeing enough Josh Jacobs running the football. There are a lot of issues going on with this team. They have to fix some of the issues. They were much better under Rich Bisaccia, and it makes you wonder whether he should have been the head coach of this team.
It's a good question, but looking at the top half specifically, 9 through 16, let's take a look at number 14, the Cincinnati Bengals. What a tough loss that was to the Dallas Cowboys, who didn't have Dak Prescott. No, they had Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, who threw everywhere and anywhere he wanted on this Cincinnati secondary. Eli Apple looked like the worst cornerback the NFL has ever seen. This was just horrendous. And then we look at the offense. The offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals is just non-existent. They might as well not show up to the games because we see Joe Burrow on the ground every single play. It's just absolutely incredible. A team that had such bad areas improves them just to get a worse result. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it, but yet here we are. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals are headed in the wrong direction. They have not proven they can repeat what they did last year. And at this point, I think they're going to be in bad situations moving forward if they cannot figure out those two critical areas. I think they've got great weapons, but what is that if you have no protection? The Bengals have a lot of work to do. But a team that did see a little bit of an upswing in their productivity was the San Francisco 49ers, and that came because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo, we all know, sat the bench because Trey Lance was the guy. Trey Lance was going to take this team over like they expected him to after trading away all those draft picks. And now we see Trey Lance out for the remainder of the season with a broken ankle. What a devastating injury. But then in comes Jimmy G with that smirk on his face. And now he's got a bone to pick with the rest of the 49ers because they counted him out, and he's about to show them why they should have never let anybody else take that job from him. He came in and made the Seattle defense look terrible, and they are a pretty decent defense so far. The San Francisco 49ers looked like themselves once again, and I think this is going to spell trouble for the rest of the NFC West moving forward.
Yeah, spelling trouble for other teams is exactly what the number 8 team on our list does, and that is the Miami Dolphins. The acquisition of Tyreek Hill clearly made this team a contender, and taking a look at what they were able to do offensively, we saw Tua Tagovailoa throw 450 yards and 6 touchdowns. What is going on in the world of the NFL? That's what I want to know. The fact remains that Tyreek Hill is an absolute game breaker. He keeps defensive coordinators up not only all night long, but for weeks on end after the fact of how much he is torching their defenses. This is not something that other teams want to go against, but the Miami Dolphins have been able to put it together. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, one of the best 1-2 combinations we have in the NFL. And Tua Tagovailoa, while I still do not respect his arm strength because Tyreek Hill seems to keep bailing him out, I believe that he has made the accurate throw, the right decisions, everything that comes mentally with the quarterback position, he has done well. This Mike McDaniel's offense looks like it's a surgical precision attack against multiple defenses, and it is going to be one hell of a matchup moving forward. Another team I want to talk about here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got into a little hot water as the game was very slow moving in the early parts, but things got a little bit heated, a little bit chippy. Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore going at it once again, and all of a sudden, we see some scoring after Mike Evans and Lattimore are ejected. We see the Buccaneers coming out on top in this one. Definitely something to watch as the Buccaneers finally shook the Saints in the regular season, and that's why they sit atop our power rankings here at number 2.
You know, a lot of people want to count out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's getting old. He's ready to fall off that cliff, but he just beat the New Orleans Saints for the first time in the regular season of his Buccaneer career. I think that the Buccaneers might be better than we've ever seen them.
Which is very scary, but there's 3 things that you can count on in life: death, taxes, and Mike Evans getting into a physical altercation with Marshawn Lattimore. But I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of our power rankings this week. Let us know which teams we have too high and which teams we have too low. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.